it's awful. No one should do it. But we were acting, and he was very kind, and he understood.
We really sort of delved into it in this one because we had the time, we weren't doing schoolwork, so we could really immerse ourselves into the fun of the experience.
Well, I saw it for the first time last night. I was sent a link a while ago, and I wanted my family to watch it, but it wasn't completely finished. And they all went, no, I want to watch the finished thing.
I think we were all just a lot more tired.
Yeah, a lot more tired, a lot more ripped towards the end of the film, So it was great fun.
Paddington, there's a letter from Peru. Dear Paddington, to your Aunt Lucy.
She's gone, and we have no idea where she is.
Oh, I can't find her. It's not as if we can drop everything and fly to Peru.
You've both had great careers, played all sorts of challenging roles, I'm sure, but where does being mean to Paddington Bear rank on the toughest things you've had to do with an actor?
Is that a spoiler? Being mean to Paddington Bear it's awful. No one should do it. But we were acting, and he was very kind, and he understood.
Yeah.
But,
no, the challenges that come with the script and the fact that there are diverse characters that I had to play basically became fun. And more than challenging, it was just it's just a stimulus to do the work. Besides the hours on the makeup trailer, everything else was fabulous. Just having to play scenes with myself. So you have to play one side first and then the other one, and things like that becomes kind of a challenging, but at the same time it's very fun, because at the end, it's all the technicians that are behind, the ones that are going to put this together. In reality, you have to just put your mindset in whatever you're doing in this particular moment and talk to somebody that is supposed to be you later. And so it's great. It was good. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and you get a brilliant introduction scene in the film where you kind of, I guess, sing a theme tune of sorts, kind of channeling Julie Andrews in Sound of Music as well.
Yeah.
What was your kind of reaction when you found out this was going to be your introduction in the film, and how much kind of preparation did you do for that scene in particular?
Just so, to be in Paddington, great. Oh, dressed as a nun, brilliant. A singing nun with a guitar, ace. And a big finale with Antonio Banderas. I mean, it was like someone somewhere, it was going to go wrong because it was just too good, that sort of lovely job offer. Preparation-wise, is most of our job is done by hair and makeup and wardrobe once you've got all that on. And then I just had to listen to the song over and over and over again, try and learn it. And luckily, they realised quite quickly that I couldn't play the guitar and move. So I just had to mime.
For you two, obviously, you're returning after, it's been a good few years since the last one. How differently did it feel kind of coming back to this series now that you're a bit older, but also that, it's going in a slightly different direction than the other films as well?
I think it was different in the first film. It's sort of, getting familiar with your surroundings, with the character. In the second film, you're gradually building confidence with the character, and in the third film, you really get to go for it. And especially now that we're both adults, we're really able to sort of work with the other actors, sort of bounce off their energies more, and it's it's nice being on sort of a more of a similar playing field. That was great to work with.
Yeah, definitely. I think we both sort of came back in with a bit more of a different perspective, and a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and we really sort of delved into it in this one because we had the time, we weren't doing schoolwork, so we could really immerse ourselves into the fun of the experience.
Yeah, and then Carla, for you, kind of joining the series, what was that like for you? What was your kind of big Paddington welcome moment on your first day of set?
Well, my first day of set, I met Antonio dressed as a woman because he plays several ancient from the family, and so it was really, really fun. And it was just everything that I could imagine and more. So all the facilities that I could imagine, everyone was so welcoming, everyone was so nice. I think it has to do something about the Paddington spirit on the set. I definitely think it was. So just an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. And obviously, Paddington has been, a great British cultural pop figure for decades, but it does feel that since these films have come out, he's grown even further into like a great icon of the country. Have you guys noticed that happening with the films as they've gone on, that he does seem to have become even more beloved by the public?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was possible really for it to go, you know, any bigger or grander. But you know, each time, you know, we go films, they pull out more stops, and it's just amazing to see how, you know, the world receives Paddington and how it's gradually built up. You know, you see like, I need to there's a toasty machine, like toasty trucks. I need to go there and grab myself a marmalade toasty at some point. But that'd be lovely. But
yeah. And obviously, you know, all of the films have had these great actors playing the villains, and in this film we've got two great actors playing villains. You talked about Antonio Banderas and obviously Olivia Colman as well. What was it like to get to work with them? Like, did you have much time away from camera as well to kind of really form a bond? What was the
It was very social.
Yes.
We were really social on this one. I mean, there was a lot of days where we all had lunch together, and we'd all sit.
We went to the theatre
Yeah,
together.
we had days out, nights out, and sort of spent time together in between takes. So yeah, I think every new addition we've had in this one has brought an amazing energy on set and has embraced the spirit of the Paddington world alongside us, and I think we all work together so lovely and got on so well off screen that on screen it makes everything easier, and
Yeah. And Antonio, you mentioned the fact that you get to play lots of different characters, and it's, you know, kind of the Alec Guinness Kind Hearts and Coronets kind of thing, which I always think must be like the I guess one of the most fun acting challenges you can have. How deep did you go into each of these characters? Did you kind of think about them all a lot, and were there any that were your kind of personal favourites?
Well, I would say that it was very difficult, that I had to do a lot of training, but it's not true. Because the characters, they don't have enough development. You know, they are almost little presentations, some ghosts that play in the mind of the main character, Hunter, you know. But it was just fun just to dress up like them and to be around the set, you know, playing with the character. I would have loved to have more story with those characters. But it is what it is, and I suppose that he plays good in the movie because I didn't see the movie yet.
Okay.
But
you're going to love it.
For me, the important thing was the main character, Hunter, and his struggle with himself. That was fun to play, because you can see actually a character that is having a lot of trouble to understand himself and to find the real him, you know, that he does through his daughter at the end of the movie. And so it was nice. It gets in a way, you know, the aura of Paddington to change him, observing the little bear behaving in front of him, and that's what makes him, you know, a little bit ashamed of himself. So it was a beautiful time for a beautiful movie that I hope that produced an impact in kids and families in general.
Yeah, and so Olivia, you have seen the film already, and what was your kind of reaction to watching it, having been a part of bringing it to life? What was your kind of favourite thing?
I saw it for the first time last night. I was sent a link a while ago, and I wanted my family to watch it, but it wasn't completely finished. And they all went, no, I want to watch the finished thing. So I watched it on my own last night. And it's beautiful, and I love it that we all go back to his homeland and to find Aunt Lucy, and that everyone goes with him. It's the perfect next step adventure, I think, for him.
There's some kind of, I guess, stunt work in this film as well compared to the previous ones. Like, it seems like, you know, they always had a spirit of adventure to them, but this one, it has, you know, like taking that up to the next level. Did you guys have any particular challenges from that side of things on the set for this one?
We all had stunt scenes.
Yeah. I think we were all just a lot more tired.
Yeah, a lot more tired,
you know?
a lot more ripped towards the end of the film, you know. So it was great fun to do, but you know, we all had our moments, and that was lovely to see.
It's good, adrenaline packed, and you know, action fueled. It's good fun. It's nice doing those types of scenes.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you know, the sets for this film are incredible as well, and you know, it's amazing that so much of the film, the scenes that are set in Peru were actually filmed in the UK. I wondered if each of you had kind of particular details from the set that you particularly loved, or that you want people to kind of look out for when they see the film.
I think when we first went on the boat and you get to see the interior of the boat,
I was going to say the same
much
thing.
Detail goes into it. Like, you see sort of Antonio's ancestors in the little sort of frames, and like there's so much character to it that they bring.
And in the wheelhouse, if you open the drawer, if you get to open the drawers, you get to see like all these maps and notes written in Spanish that no one will see on the movie.
The tapes, the little tapes of
yeah.
music,
Yeah.
you know, sort of playlists to play.
It's all the detail.
The Home for Retired Bears as well is just crazy amounts of detail, and all this sort of bear carvings of bears in the benches and things, and it's crazy the amount of detail they went through.
The pamphlets as well.
Yeah.
I took one from set. I'm sorry. No, it was lovely. Yeah.
Obviously, it must be a great experience for you guys when you get to watch the film once, you know, Paddington has been inserted into the film, I guess. How different is it watching that film from your experience on set, just in terms of, obviously, Paddington's in there now?
It's just lovely seeing it come together, isn't it? And sort of, you know, seeing the final product and knowing how hard everyone has worked. And I mean, you watch the end credits and it's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and you think, you know, we're only one small part of it, you know, and all these incredible people and the massive animation team, and it's wonderful to think that we've all put some little bit of effort into something so beautiful, and the end package is incredible.
I think it had to be, we wanted to take our time with this one to make sure everything was so perfectly crafted and that it felt right in how it was portrayed.
Obviously, Paddington has been a beloved figure for decades, but I do feel like since these films have come out, it has kind of renewed the interest in him. And I wondered, you know, having been there for a few of them now, how have you noticed that increasing over time, that interest?
Well, it is true that he was an amazing creation by Michael Bond, and he had many iterations before our films, but he was in a slightly dormant phase, it's true, before the films. And it has been very exciting to see how he's been embraced around the world for those simple characteristics of, you know, he doffs his hat, he's polite, he's completely egalitarian with everybody, he sees the best in everyone. His kindness, his innocence seems to have been embraced in so many countries, and so that has been exciting to see. Yeah.
For you, kind of stepping into this world, what were you kind of especially excited about exploring with this character?
I'm not sure excited was the right word. I think terrified is probably more accurate, because those two first films are so beloved and they're so good. When I was approached to get involved, I was very anxious about trying to continue the quality of those two films, but I was joining a great team who had been involved in the first two films. Paul had a hand in the story, and I also had the help of the fantastic animation director Pablo Grillo and the same cinematographer Eric Wilson, but I was excited about all the fantastic people I was going to be working with, and all the amazing scenes we were going to try and create. But the story and the heart of the film, I never relaxed about, because I thought we've got to get this right, and this has got to be a worthy successor, and, you know, let's see what people make of it. But we tried as hard as we could to follow up Paddington 2.
And in terms of that story, how quickly did it become apparent that taking Paddington back to Peru was the correct way to take this series forward?
Well, that was one of the very first choices that were made quite soon after the second film, that if there was to be a third outing, it was right for him to circle back, to come full circle and visit his homeland, as you know, as many immigrants will always have half their heart somewhere else. So we needed to address that and see where that took us. But yes, so that was clear from very early on in the process.